In our final day in Oman, we left the capital city of Muscat to go on an epic outdoor adventure.
We're gonna swim across here. Wish us luck.
Although we consider ourselves to be seasoned hikers, we were not prepared for Oman's harshest elements.
I believe it feels like 120 right now.
This might be one of the hardest hikes we've done in a while, right?
Despite everything, it was worth it.
I bet you didn't know Oman had a water this color. Oh my gosh, we had to pull off the side of the road to come look at this.
We're on our way to our highlight for today. Totally a this is Oman moment of surprise.
I don't think I've ever seen water this shade of blue before, and I saw a turtle pop its head out. I really, can we get in this water right now?
We're gonna have to go see I don't know, it's like a misty turquoise, super bright blue. And then beyond that, it's another different shade, and then it goes into the blue ocean.
This is absolutely gorgeous. Oman, why are you such a hidden secret to Americans? This beach is made up of these pebbles and rocks, so when the waves go back out, you just hear the rocks tumbling. It's so peaceful. I really want to hang out here and go swim and stuff. There's no one else around.
Yeah, we're in kind of a rush, but I was like, okay, we'll stop for 2 minutes. Okay, we'll stop for 5 minutes. Okay, no more than 15 minutes. It's just hard not to keep watching. There are literally sea turtles right here. No more than 10 meters off the coast. You're gonna have to take our word on the turtles. They're up and down too quick, but we know there's a lot of sea turtles in this area. And here specifically down on the coast, we've already seen several popping their heads up in the blue waters. All right, back in the car. We're 2 minutes from our destination. Let's get there. We have seen a ton of these mountain goats. I just happened to have stopped at the ones eating some trash on the side of the road, but we've seen them out in the wild there too. I feel like we've been kind of keeping it secret, and I now realize that if you clicked on this, you know what we're doing. We're here at Wadi Shab, which is one of the famous areas to visit in the country of Oman.
A wadi is a canyon, has a river running through it, so our plan is to hike through the canyon, do a little swimming, cool down from this hot Omani sun, and have a blast today.
I think it's truly gonna feel like an oasis out here. I believe it feels like 120 right now in Fahrenheit, which I think is 49 in Celsius. It's a scorcher. To access the wadi, you have to take a short boat across the river. It costs 1 rial per person. So we just hopped in, we're gonna go, and then I know there's gonna be some good hiking from there.
It's literally a 1-minute boat ride across this little channel, but it's too deep to wade across. We just bumped into some people on their way back and asked them how it was, and they said it's really nice, but I think this hike is going to earn the cool down at the end, so I can't wait for this reward. Had to go back and grab the sunscreen. Sitting underneath Kyle's shorts he just changed out of. He didn't even charge me, he was so nice.
Okay, official start now. Both already sweat completely through our clothes. I really feel like you can't get a better reward than a nice cool dip in the water on a hot day like this. It almost makes the hike and the heat worth it.
We'll see. We haven't done the hike yet. You can tell we're by water now. Everywhere in Oman we've been so far has just been this light colored sandy rock, and now it's teeming with wildlife. So much green behind me, it's beautiful.
Getting our first glimpse here of some of the water and the turquoise green colors that you see through the canyon, but don't quite think this is the spot to get in yet, so we'll keep trekking on. If it wasn't so darn hot out here, there are a lot of cool little caves and things like that that you can climb up and explore. So if you're not here in peak summer, I think you can spend a lot of time wandering the canyons here. For now, we have one goal, get into the spring, into the water. True meaning of the word oasis right here. Look at all this greenery in the canyon. It means so much right now.
Sorry, I just said.
Oh,
yeah.
So you go and come back, you'll find it.
Oh,
thank you.
This feels so good already. This is just the start of the water, but all right, time to keep hiking. We heard there's 30 more minutes till the end. I'm gonna do a dip and then get out.
For the record, Rebecca already did an accidental dip. climbing in here. She slipped and fell. All good.
Oh, Kyle almost went down. I already went down like twice basically. We're in for an adventure. Oh, I am out of breath, and it's not because the hike is that strenuous. It's just so hot. The sun beating down. Whew. At home, we would be indoors or in our car in air conditioning. Nature's air conditioning isn't quite cutting it for me right now.
This might be one of the hardest hikes we've done in a while, right?
I think just because it's so hot, right?
Yeah.
And we brought 1 jug of water. Don't be dumb like us, bring more than that, for at least 1 for each person.
I think we're close. It is a little easy to get on the wrong path here because all the channels the river creates, but they actually have it marked up with some spray painted arrows to help us out. Makes the navigating a bit easier. So far, doesn't seem like we've gotten significantly off track or anything. And it looks like we're arriving to a spot.
This feels great. This is what I need. Once you get to the water, you're really just kind of wading and swimming through it. Feels so good. Oh my gosh, such a relief to be in the water. They did tell us we can leave our stuff pretty much anywhere. It'll be safe. And those were some locals that we saw back at the beginning of the trail. And it's really just some tourists and some locals back here swimming. You'll see I'm swimming in a long sleeve t-shirt. It's not required here. It is a more modest country, but we've seen a lot of tourists here in swimsuits and bikinis, and it's kind of known at the beaches and places like this. Tourists will come and swim in swimsuits, but I kept mine on because honestly, it's helping with sun protection. It feels really good. We're not quite ready to leave our stuff behind because we want to take pictures with it. So we're gonna swim across here. Wish us luck. And yeah, these are dry socks. They're supposed to stay relatively dry, but we have a lot of expensive camera stuff in here, so we're trying to avoid getting them submerged. We're still making our way around the canyon, but we're stopping along the way to climb up rocks, take pictures, maybe do a little bit of jumping. So cool to walk through all of this with the plants and the canyon.
It's totally awesome. Look at all these cliffs, green grass here in the middle of the desert. We're finally on camera not complaining about the heat.
And the water is so clear. You can see all the way down. It's amazing. Along the way, there are several pools that you kind of just wade through. Most of them you can walk through. I'm like 5'7" and I've been pretty good. There's a couple of spots where I've had to swim though. And I know at the end that we're gonna have to swim, but it's nice to pop out and then be able to pop right back in this cool water.
We've reached the last pool. I think this is where we're gonna leave the camera behind and go forward with the GoPro, but so beautiful in here. Now we're gonna swim along maybe about 50 meters or so to a cave waterfall. At least that's what we're looking for. We found a grouping of people, so I think we're in the right spot. I haven't mentioned this yet, but you definitely want to be a pretty decent swimmer if you come through here, or we've seen a lot of people with life jackets too. Especially if you want to go all the way to swim to see the cave. It's definitely a swim, so you don't want to come out here if that's not your strong suit. Not super far though, it's doable. The last part is a swim to a real narrow slot in this canyon. I think you might even have to swim underwater.
This looks so cool. I would never come in here if I didn't see people just come out of it.
Wow, this is so cool. Look at this cave. It's amazing.
This cave. This is so crazy.
good thing you got that on camera.
Kyle has fallen so many times.
Got too many things in my hand, too much going on. It's crazy.
Oh, it's
Oh, no,
okay.
thank you.
So much.
Thank you. Everyone's so friendly here. That was quite the reward at the end of that long swim into the cave.
Oh my gosh, it was so cool. You just went through that really narrow opening and then you popped out and there was a waterfall there. Oh, it was beautiful.
You could climb up and like dive off. People were jumping from super high and they had some little caves you could go under. It was so cool.
One guy showed Kyle where the cave was and he literally just kind of went under and then popped out underneath the waterfall.
All right, I think now we're just gonna fast forward on to the next activity so we can focus on this super hot hike, make it back, and then we'll head on to the sinkhole.
And as we're on the way out, we already met some more locals who are so nice. One guy asked when we were leaving because he said he works at the opera and he was going to invite us to go see a show tomorrow night. And unfortunately, we're leaving too early. So we told him to find us online. We'll connect next time we come because we're definitely going to be coming back to Oman.
Again, we just kind of fast forward, hiked out of there, wanted to spare you the time and more us the effort of trying to record anything because it's so freaking hot hiking out of that thing. But honestly, the way back was a lot easier than the way in.
All in all, it took us about 3 hours. We were stopping and taking a lot of videos and pictures, but it was so amazing. I really didn't know what to expect going into that. I had looked at a few pictures, but it was incredible and blew my expectations out of the water.
Be smarter than us and make sure to pack more than just one little water bottle, especially if you're here in the summer. After we got out of there, all we had to enjoy was like a boiling hot bottle of water that we had left in here. Thankfully, there's a grocery store not too far. Grabbed some Gatorade, pulled up here on the beach to overlook the water. Honestly, if you don't know what color water it is, it's the same as this Gatorade. And we're just gonna rehydrate here before we head over to the next stop.
I've never seen you more disappointed about water than that hot water.
It was seriously like boiling and I was dying. I was so dehydrated. It wasn't like a serious dehydrated, but just, whew, it was hot out there. Drained.
But we do have another stop on our way back to the city, so stay tuned.
We have arrived about 30 minutes down the road at the Bimmah Sinkhole.
It's in a little gated park, but it's free to enter. There's a nice parking lot and it's really nice in here. There's a lot of people just walking around and strolling.
The Bimmah Sinkhole is exactly as it sounds, but it's a cool little area that you can actually swim in because it has a collection of this spring water down at the bottom. It looks like it's about 60 to 80 feet down, and then I understand it's 60 feet deep or so too. So we're gonna go for a swim.
Definitely says no jumping, but apparently this guy's about to jump. Might be getting some understandable cold feet there. People are cheering him on. I'm nervous. Rebecca's nervous.
He's yet to jump, but we'll keep you posted on this story. I wouldn't do it. I do think it can be done safely. It's very deep. The hesitation is probably the biggest risk.
The sinkhole is a lot bigger and deeper than I thought, and it's nice because there's kind of like a rock beach that leads into it, so you can take the stairs down and then sit on the rock beach and swim.
We did it. That was like a 20-minute build-up. Looks okay.
He's okay. Now I know what you're thinking. Kyle, why aren't you jumping? Obviously I would do it from the top spot, but there are very clear signs that say no jumping, so not one to break the rules.
You're not one to break the rules. Maybe in another country where we're trying to be respectful, we don't want to get in trouble. We're in the sinkhole now, and looking up, it is a lot taller than I was expecting. These guys are still jumping behind us, but it's very loud in here because they're all yelling and hyping each other up. The water feels good though.
That dude just went for a dive. He over-rotated. Not a good idea. Seems to be okay. As Rebecca mentioned, it's quite crowded, so we came and just found our own little corner to wait around for a little bit. Love how the water's kind of green down here and you get this like cave vibe and protected from the sun even because there's a lot of overhang. Definitely worth a stop on the way back from the Wadi.
It's definitely a cool like feature and stuff. I don't know that I'd spend a ton of time here, but it is a good quick little stop. It does seem like there are less tourists here, and I think the signs said that you should be dressed modestly, so swimming in the shirt again. There is one other person I see who has like a tank top on, but everyone else is covered up like below the knees, shoulders, everything. I feel a little undressed with my shorts on. When you go back underneath the overhang part, it kind of feels like a warm cenote like you can find in Mexico.
Rebecca's turn.
No, I am actually a rule follower, unlike Kyle. I will not be going and jumping.
The sinkhole here is a fun little stop. We spent some time just floating about the water, cooling down a little bit. Now I think we're gonna head on to our last added stop that we just invented on this tour.
After seeing this beautiful ocean water, I have not stopped talking about how I think it's the prettiest blue I've ever seen. So we added a stop so I could come jump in the water a little bit and just enjoy the ocean. My favorite.
Really, if you're driving here on the coast to visit Wadi Shab or to go to the sinkhole, there are a lot of spots where you can just pull off right off the highway, right off the main road, and have your own little stretch of this pretty blue beach.
We've seen a lot of stuff online of people driving around and camping, and all of the stops that we've been seeing along the ocean have a little like tent signs. So you can also camp here if you have like a tent, I guess, or a camper van or a camper truck. One day we'll make it out here again to do that. When I was younger, I used to collect rocks, so the child in me is absolutely loving this beach. They're so cool and patterned, and they're so polished from just tumbling in the waves. They're so pretty. I'm not gonna take them, but I really do love looking at them.
Enjoying some of these views of the blue water is where we're gonna wrap up our incredible day here down the coast of Oman, exploring the Wadi and making our way up the canyon, going to the sinkhole, getting to enjoy these blue waters.
We've had such a great time in Oman. I'm so sad it was this short, but we will definitely be back. The people have been incredibly welcoming and amazing. The scenes have been beautiful. There's so many things that we've yet to explore.
Make sure to like this video and subscribe to stay tuned for our future adventures. We'll see you soon, Oman.